Welcome to the latest episode of FR Racing's Garage Talk. I'm DJ Fluck.
I am Eric Richardson.
So we've stretched this very long in the last several days, so we're going to jump right into it. So we're going to go right in, talk NASCAR, talk Formula One, talk Indy, talk Wednesday Night Dash on iRacing. So Chase Elliott wins at his home track. Did you watch the race at all?
Yeah, I got to watch most of it. It was a lot different than what I thought it was going to be after watching the March race.
I mean, it was Chase Elliott's home track, but I didn't know. I mean, NBC didn't spend half the time at that pool hall. They spent a lot of time reminding us that Chase Elliott lives near Atlanta, and Twitter wasn't having it. So, They said, hey, when they go to Las Vegas, are they going to highlight the Busch brothers? When they go to Michigan, are they going to highlight Brad Keselowski? When they go to Charlotte, are you going to highlight half the field? It was interesting. Let's say that.
That was. Hopefully they start doing that at some of the other home tracks or hometowns that are close to the track.
I agree. I think, adding that personal touch with the driver who lives there or is from there, I think that adds a lot to it.
Yeah, it really does.
You got to keep the bias away because it looks very like they were heavily rooting for Chase Elliott to win that race. I know they weren't, but to the average person, it looked like it was a very biased thing.
Indeed.
Go
ahead.
Just real quick on that note, again, Ross Chastain is not making any friends.
No, he is not. Especially Denny Hamlin. I think they may be best friends now.
Mm-hmm.
Just throwing that idea out there.
Yeah, Denny was not having any of it. And I saw on Instagram, Ross Chastain put up did you know you can eat the rind of a watermelon? And people like, did you know you can race without taking out half the field? So I'm assuming he should have known that was coming, but
so I have a couple of trivia questions for you.
Please.
But first off, how about Corey LaJoie too?
Mm-hmm.
Just real quick, he had a great run.
He did, certainly.
Trivia question. Oh,
bummer.
I'm also messed up on timing here.
Yeah, bummer. But all right, let's do it. Trivia.
All right, how many Georgia-born drivers have won at Atlanta?
3.
So it is actually 2.
2 is Bill Elliott count as a Georgia?
Bill Elliott and Chase
Elliott. Okay, I knew it was them, but I was like, it can't be just them. But
now, part 2 of this: how many father-son duos have won at Atlanta?
There's been so many father-son duos in the Cup Series over the years. And there's 3 that come to mind immediately. So I'm going to say 3 again.
So now there have been 3.
Yeah.
The Elliott's are one of them.
And the Earnhardts.
Yep. Dale Jr.
And I don't know why, but I want to say the Petties.
It's actually the Jarretts.
Oh, of course.
Ned and Dale.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty fun kind of fact right there.
But yeah, those are good questions. So Formula One, you didn't catch this. I caught a little bit of it. Good run at the Red Bull Ring. There's some off the track drama. Carlos Sainz Ferrari caught on fire and almost rolled away, and one of the safety crew actually went over there all by himself and tried to put a block under the front wheel and put the fire out all by himself. And it just, Formula One safety team was very heavily criticized on their response. And I guess Formula One doesn't even have their own traveling safety team. They're by the track, and the response that they get from it is very hit and miss. And it sounds like, from what I was reading, it's mostly miss.
Yeah, it's definitely not like the other series that they have the same people week in and week out, and the drivers get to know that crew.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's, from a consistency standpoint, I don't know why. I mean, they've got the money. they've got plenty of money. They could hire a permanent safety crew. I don't know why. I mean, I maybe it's the international travel and having to get into all these different countries. Maybe that's a problem. I don't
And
know.
maybe just trying to minimize the logistics of all the international travel.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that would be my only guess why. I mean, it's just, but I mean, from a safety standpoint, that could have been, again, that could have been a lot worse than what it was. But fortunately, Carlos Sainz was physically okay. I mean, you could see him sitting over, next to the car, watching his car burn when, he was making a strong run for a podium finish. But hey, off this week.
They're off this week. Next
Indy-
up is France.
IndyCar was off last week, but they're in Toronto. That's probably one of my, that's a fun race. I'm looking forward to watching that this weekend. They actually run head to head with NASCAR for the most part. I think one of them starts like a half hour earlier, but I think I'm probably going to be watching Indy this weekend.
Yeah, Indy could be a fun race to watch. NASCAR's in New Hampshire at Loudon. So that track can be entertaining too at times. But we'll see how this new car works there.
Yeah, I might do a split screen. Actually, you know what? I don't think I can. Yeah, I might have just 2 TVs and bounce between the 2 rooms. But I'm really looking forward to Indy this weekend. So
I have another trivia.
You have another trivia. All right,
today.
you're really pressing me this morning.
Yeah, how many days has it been since they last raced in Toronto?
Days?
See if you can get within
a couple hundred.
I'll give you some wiggle room.
I'm guessing. I mean, I don't think there was a race there last year. I'm guessing if there was a race there in 2020, it was canceled. So I'm gonna say it's probably close to 1,000 days.
Yeah, 1,099 days.
Yeah. All right.
That's good. 2019.
Yes.
Was the last time. So
All
they're trying
right.
to see him get back on that track.
Man,
And they will be short 1 driver this weekend. Tatiana Calderon won't be racing.
I heard there was an issue with a sponsor not paying their sponsor check. And
yeah, Rocket.
And I thought I read too that they had a similar incident with the Williams team in F1 had a Rocket sponsorship and they were not coming through on timely check payments.
Be something to watch here as we move through season.
I mean, it's just if a team has a team or a company has a reputation for not making timely payments, that I would think that would be a red flag, despite what the current financial state of your team is, committing to everything and hiring and entering, and then all of a sudden your sponsor doesn't pay. That would be even worse.
Yeah,
than
that
not
would
running
not
at all.
be good.
So yeah, that'll be interesting to watch. Wednesday night dash this week, Talladega.
Talladega. That's all you say.
Yeah, Talladega. It did not go well for either of us. I mean, you finished 6th, I was 9th. Both got caught up. I got caught up in a couple of incidents. You avoided the first one.
I actually think I got net coded and got through the first one because I should have been caught up in it too.
Yeah, I watched the
We'll
replay of
see
that, and yeah, we'll break it down here in a second. But hey, congratulations, your first pole of the series.
Yeah, first of all, that was exciting. I was kind of nervous hanging on there. It was actually by 2/1000ths of a second, so couldn't have been much closer.
I should have asked this before we went on the air here. Do you have the final lap video?
I do. I have the 2 big crashes in the final lap.
The final lap was, man, that was exciting.
Yes, it was a day for the Erics.
Yes.
Myself taking the pole and then Eric Blum getting his first career win.
Yes, indeed. He, man, in his last lap, that like you going into the backstretch, you had all 3 of them racing 3 wide going into the backstretch, but we'll show you the video in a second.
At one point, Mark might have almost been able to win if the top 3 took themselves out.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark got up into a couple laps before because of my incident, I got lapped, but I came out and actually was 2-3 seconds behind the lead pack, and they were pulling away. But Mark got into it. Mark Vickers got I don't know if he got bumped or what happened there exactly, but he lost control and went off. And then it was the top 3 for the last 2 or 3 laps, and it was just awesome racing going down to the end. So Eric, you've got the video. So You've got is this the first crash queued up?
Yeah, this is the first crash here.
This is from your perspective.
Yep, this is from the chase on my end. We're going to see a car go below the yellow line. And when you do that on a super speedway, you'll see what happens here. So we're going to be watching the car right in there.
Yep, went below the yellow line.
They start banging next to each other, and there they go. You'll see I should have caught right there.
And then you can see the Jepson's Malort Silverado get caught up at the tail end of it. And
getting a little ahead of myself.
Yep. And then I just did not, yeah, you can see me in the lower right-hand corner, but what a mess.
DJ's there in that Jepson's Malort.
Yeah, that's the point of where I just went, oh crap, this is not going to go well for me here. I had nowhere to go. And, you hit the front end of these trucks hard and there's nothing left. I mean, my engine blew up shortly thereafter and had to take a tow back to the pit. And somehow I only got about a lap and a half down when they went yellow at 20 for our competition caution. I got that, that 3/4 of a lap back. And then I stayed out because I pit a few laps before the tow and ended up getting the wave around. So going into the second half of the race, I was back on the lead lap and in the tail with the leaders. And
we should mention everybody got back on the lead lap.
Yeah, we had the whole group back on the lead lap, which is exactly the reason why we put this competition caution in. If we wouldn't have done that,
our race was 40 laps. The pit window for fuel was about 34, and with the crash happening, I think lap 14 or 15.
Yeah,
it forced 15. The leaders to pit, and everybody else could stay out, and tire wear wasn't a problem. So it made it pretty exciting.
Yeah, until about lap 27.
Yeah, so we're gonna come up to that. We're gonna see the last second here play out.
Yep, and so
here we are. What we're looking. Let's get this here.
The Ricky Bobby truck.
And for some reason, there we go. So we're going to see this car. There's actually 2 in 1 right here. So we're going to see the purple car here from Bernard Pollard. He was coming down, and you'll see the 3-car wiggle just a little. They actually didn't have quite enough room, and that sent him spinning. Then we're going to see the 41 car, the kind of third in line. He just came right across to the left. So that's going to be the first part that we see here. We see there goes one, and then the other goes 2.
I'm still not sure what happened on your part. If that was just didn't wreck avoidance and hit you, or didn't see you. I mean, that truck has a weird blind spot on it. And if you don't have,
if crew chief wasn't running, he actually, if we watch it further, was coming from behind me, so should have known I was there. And I don't know if he was tracking Pollard and saw him move and started to go with. Not fully certain.
I mean, there was a lot of aggressive driving going on. I mean, and that's great. But there was a lot more of close calls, especially with the shuffling in the pack, that we probably could add about 3 or 4 more incidents. So,
and I unfortunately caused another one. Everybody's running pretty good, and
yeah, let's see it.
We'll get 2 angles on that. I'm trying to throttle it, and I don't want to lose the pack. So I was pushing probably a little too much, and I made a bad decision. Should have just gotten back up and just ran it out or hope for a draft, but we'll see this. So I'm pedaling. I thought I was able to get back up, but just the banking of the track pulls me up. And you see kind of
as somebody rightfully wrote on Instagram yesterday, rip Hooters.
Yeah, and so Justin and I actually ended up running out the rest of it and finishing in 5th and 6th spots. But I know Colton, he had a rough day too. He saw me, moved up to avoid it, then took me
out in the process. And yeah, it was unfortunate, but that's super speedway racing. But you see the top 3 break loose, and then Mark ends up catching them, and we had a top 4 for the last for another 10 laps before Mark
So I'm gonna let this play out now. So we're about to take into our last lap. So this is the final three here. That last one, unfortunate series of events, but great race overall.
Which
and
is
watching
wild.
These,
Going into that lap, I mean, spoiler alert, Eric, we already said, Eric in the Miller High Life car is running third going
I
into
thought
that
they were
last.
gonna wreck each other coming up here, going into
There
three.
was one point where I think Kaden in the University of Iowa number 3 kind of tapped. Yeah, kind of
Like right here as he comes down across them, like,
right.
and then
Yeah.
they bump.
And then, and the number 18 on the outside there of Hunter Hughes. Hunter he's raced with us. He joined the league finally. So we were excited to get him on board. He had a great run at Atlanta last week, but man, he had a really good performance and got the long front stretch and the line at the end of the front stretch. So here they come. Erik has the lead, and look at that. 3 cars crossed the finish line from first to third place was 0.053 seconds. Between second and third was 3 thousandths. That's 0.003 seconds between Hunter and Kaden. I mean, it was just an incredible finish. Really, really exciting. It's unfortunate for me, but like usually I come away when I don't have a good performance, and I'm just like bummed out. But being able to watch that from behind and see that finish, that was just super exciting. Glad, good racing all around.
And I've reached out to everybody, and I'll put it on record here too. I'm sorry to Neves and Colton and you for my bad decision.
It's super speedway racing.
Yeah, it's racing, but I don't like to be the reason why somebody had a bad race.
It's gonna happen. You're gonna wreck somebody. I'm gonna wreck somebody.
I mean, hey, I'm on par with Ross Chastain, so what can I say?
Yep, no water smell, no watermelon smash for you this week. So
no,
IRP is next week.
Racing. Yeah, Lucas Oil, man, that's gonna be a fun track.
So we got IRP followed by Bristol Dirt and then Phoenix to close out the season.
Yeah, these next 3 races. With this setup of Lucas Oil, Bristol Dirt, and Phoenix, I got to point out, Kaden McAreavy's in first with 81 points.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Vols is running second at 60. With leading a lap and taking the pole, I'm sitting third at 47. And then we got Richard Hurst, who's been off a couple weeks, still at 46. Justin Neves is at 46. Eric Blum's at 42. Mark Vickers at 40, and Colton Gardner is at 39.
And then I'm
6 quarters and 8 points, and
I'm back there at 30. I mean, it's just one good finish from anyone between 3rd through 10th, and all of a sudden they're back on the podium potentially.
Yeah, if one of those guys picks up another win, or just runs solid top 3s, it's going to be a very fun and interesting race at Phoenix.
I mean, that's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to these next. Well, not so much Bristol Dirt, but I've been my advice for Bristol Dirt. We got to wrap this because we're over our time already. But my advice for Bristol Dirt that I've read is, if you want to run safe, stay low. If you want to run fast, go high. And may the best truck survive.
And I might have a 6-pack of Coors Light as I do that race. See if I can
actually your last trip to Bristol resulted in a rage quit from you.
Is a 30-40% rage quit. The other 60% was more there's no point in running,
right?
Because I think there were only 6 cars and I was in 6th and I was already several laps down, so I couldn't lose anything.
Yeah,
I didn't want to
rough
again
trip.
I didn't want to get in the way of anybody.
So at FR Racing Online, Erik, you'll be running at Iowa this weekend for the IndyCar
Iowa.
fix?
I think I'm running on Saturday, so actually tomorrow, about 8:15 is my guess.
I introduced a new stream yesterday. I called it Lunchtime with DJ, where I ran the Carburetor Cup at iRacing Superspeedway, which is a dumb track. I mean, it seems cool in principle, but when you get out there, it's a dumb track. 3-mile super speedway, 5 lanes the entire way around, and people still are getting in each other's way. So 5 lanes isn't enough, apparently. So I think I'm going to start doing a lunchtime race once a week, but with my schedule, the day may vary. So just keep a watch out. Subscribe to our Twitch account. You'll get the alert. You can hop in and watch. At FR Racing Online on social media. Check out our blog, frracingonline.com. And see you next week.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.